Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the VHS Tapes podcast. Today I'm going over Phase 2 of Marvel, and we will begin with the first movie of the phase, Iron Man 3. I think Tony dealing with PTSD after the Battle of New York made for an interesting story arc, along with the Extremis subplot. But the dumb thing is the Mandarin plot twist. I know they take kind of like fix it later on in phase 4, I think, with the Shang-Chi movie, but I haven't even seen that just yet. But I've heard it was very, very good, so we'll get to that when we get to that. But focusing on this movie, Tony's character development of moving past his trauma is great, especially end of the movie, like he gets his arc reactor out, he trashes all the suits because he was using them as like a coping mechanism to just keep making stuff and trying to protect everybody. However, this still doesn't fully go away and will lead into Age of Ultron. Thor the Dark World. I don't like the Dark Elves' motivation because it's literally just, ew, light is cringe. They had potential to be so much better. The Cursed, or however you say it, pretty cool concept is like you gotta take this thing and sacrifice yourself basically to become a super dark elf, I guess. And something else I want to say about the start of Phase 2 is, they had the money now, so they started upgrading the costumes, the CGI. It looked less cheesy, and it just looked better. Also, we get the third Infinity Stone, the Ether or Reality Stone. Although, I somehow missed this the first 4 times I watched the movie, where Odin quite literally says the ether is one of the 6 Infinity Stones. By the end of the movie, Asgard entrusts this to the Collector, who announces his intention to collect all 6, and that will get picked up in 2 movies. Captain America the Winter Soldier. I love the opening bit of Cap repeatedly lapping Sam. It was great. It's wild watching Fury attempt to access some encrypted data at the beginning, only to find out it's somehow locked by his own orders. And in investigating, gets attacked by mercenaries posing as cops and is killed. Or at least we're supposed to think so. It's then up to Cap to figure out what the hell happened and who's pulling S.H.I.E.L.D. strings. The twist of the Winter Soldier being Bucky was interesting and actually takes multiple movies and a show to get through everything he's gone through. And of course, we get our introduction to Falcon, who 2 phases from now will become the new Captain America. So, that's cool. Alright, there we go. My notes weren't responding here. Guardians of the Galaxy. I love this. It's a neat journey to the other side of the galaxy, so we get, something off Earth for the first time. And, obviously backstories of the Guardians, but we also get to see more of Thanos since he was only teased in the post-credits of Avengers. We also get to see the 4th Infinity Stone, the Orb, or the Power Stone, and the Collector, who nearly gets his hands on it if, maybe if he just treated his assistant, I was going to say human being, but she's not human, so an alien being. I don't know. If he just treated her nicely, she probably wouldn't have tried to use it to destroy everything. But oh well. So he ends up only ever getting one of the stones. Avengers Age of Ultron. The opening one-shot sequence is cool as fuck, and these just keep getting better with each additional movie. I like that, it started with the first one, then they did in the second. Every Avengers has this cool one-shot sequence of just all this chaos happening. Ultron gets created using the Mind Stone and goes rogue, attempting to do its best Skynet impression and wipe out humanity in order to save it. He recruits the help of Wanda and Pietro Maximoff, who will soon become the Scarlet Witch and Dead, respectively. I do love the scene where each Avenger gets a vision to mess with their heads. We don't get to see what Banner saw, Instead, we get to see Hulk at his wildest, and honestly, this was the last time we saw peak Hulk. Uh, he was still good in Thor Ragnarok, but like, mm, this is what I prefer. Just the wild, mindless Hulk that just fucks everything up. And we also get to see the creation of the Vision and his little introduction. The Battle of Sokovia, while it does save the world, will have ramifications for the Avengers, leading to civil war, and the loss of Quicksilver, which sends Wanda down the beginning of her path to actually becoming the Scarlet Witch. And lastly, another post-credits reveals Thanos a step closer to his plan, having obtained the Infinity Gauntlet. Now, I'm a little confused on it, is like, some of the fans are undecided. Is this the actual gauntlet? Like he had it made a full 3 years before he collected the first stone? Or is it like a fake where he's just got it, like he can just practice, snapping? Or some people think it's like this is supposed to just be like, this is where it's actually set just before Infinity War, where it's just freshly been made. I don't know. It's good to me either way. And a little weird for the ending is Ant-Man. I feel like it would have ended better on Age of Ultron and maybe have Ant-Man take place before, but whatever. It's a nice little adventure, pun intended. We get the introduction of Ant-Man, both the original and the new one. Because the original guy, he's done it so much that it's taken too much of a toll on him. That's completely thrown out the window in the second movie because he completely shrinks down and is perfectly fine. But okay. And we get the introduction of the quantum realm, which will be explored and very useful in future movies, especially Endgame. Although I still have to say it was a weird place to end the phase. Even ending it with Civil War could have been cool, and then starting it back up with just, one of the new solo hero movies. However, it was a solid phase. I did like it. And, it sets up a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff in Age of Ultron really, like, for instance, Cap just budging the hammer. That sets up Cap picking it up in Endgame. It was fucking awesome. We all knew it was going to happen at some point. We got Scarlet Witch. She's going to go down her whole path, which goes into WandaVision, which goes into Multiverse of Madness, and so on. There's just so much cool stuff that ends up getting paid off. And yeah, I think this was a solid one. And see you. I'm going to assume part 3 of this will probably be in season 5 somewhere, because I've got all the movies on my bookshelf in real life here, and I've not even watched Civil War just yet. I'm trying to watch some other movies right now. But it's coming. Stay tuned for season 5 when we will do phase 3, and maybe I'll even get through phase 4. We'll see how it goes. Until then, see ya.